Welcome to the Monday Morning Wake Up Call with your host, Kerry Ramage, managing broker at Remax Elite, and Heather Holiday, your social marketing nut, talking about hottest real estate topics with a little weekly activity and motivation for the week. Good morning and happy Monday.
Good morning. Oh my God, my phone's going crazy. And I was like, well, let me check my messages real quick. There's too many and they're too.
It's like, don't even, you can't even go there. It's when I start working, I'm usually in my office around 6 to drink my coffee. I don't even have my phone with me. Like I'll get it after my second cup, at 9 o'clock.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Maybe
otherwise I don't get my power hour of getting work done because then the phone just starts going nuts. So.
Well, and honestly, that's a great lead into what we're talking about today, which is ways to reduce stress. So we might as well just get into it since you said, I don't have my phone with me. It is a very stressful time right now for agents and for buyers and for sellers, honestly.
Yes. For everybody, it's like a perfect storm of crazy.
Yeah, inventory is super low and it's causing stress because you're trying to work with buyers and get them a house. There's multiple offers. And honestly, from the seller standpoint, choosing from multiple offers sounds like it would be great, but how do you know you're choosing the right one? And are you going to lose marketing time if you pick the wrong one? So we kind of wanted to acknowledge that everybody is so stressed out. If you're looking on Facebook a lot and you're scrolling through, you see so many of your agent friends who are like, we are not okay right now.
It's a crazy time. I mean, one of the things I love about real estate is that it's always evolving, but this is a crazy market for every party involved. I feel for, the buyers that, are constantly putting offers in and just not able to get one. And the agents that are super stressed because the buyers are super stressed. And we've always been it's very therapeutic. I think like you should, I think in order to be an agent, like you should have some sort of a psychology degree because I feel, but it's true. Right. No matter how the market is, there's always, whether a buyer or seller, but this is especially crazy. And then you don't want to piss off the other agent by, if you are friends with these people putting in multiple offers, it almost becomes a personal thing if you don't choose theirs, even though, we're always looking out for, the seller's best interest and whatnot. It's just a crazy time for everybody involved, which really just amps up that stress level.
Yep.
To something, I don't know that we've ever really encountered before.
Right.
Even when we were in, when there was that bubble back in, 07, 08, when it was, that was crazy. And that was almost an emotional time because people were losing their houses. And when you would see the nurseries with the murals and, they lost their houses because they lost their jobs, that it was stressful in a different way. That was very emotional when I would see a property and you knew the story. And that was just different times.
Yep, for sure. So I think what you said to start it off is awesome. You don't need to get on your phone right away. Go into your office, start doing your work, keep your phone off to the side and kind of work through your emails or whatever it is that you need to do. You're making phone calls to connect with buyers and sellers or your sphere of influence. And keep your phone off to the side. That's...
Yeah, mine is in the house on the charger until 9 o'clock. And that's when I'll get it. Cause then my phone and messages and everything else. And even my emails, I probably won't check until about the 8:30 hour.
Wow.
And
I love
the same thing on Sunday. So I usually do work in the mornings on the weekends. It's kind of like my me time for me personally. getting some work done, and everybody in the house is still kind of sleeping. So I like to get up at the same time every day.
Right.
So I'm, still in here working. I just drink my coffee and work. I mean,
I think that's awesome. And I've watched a lot of things about de-stressing or organizing your day recently, and one of them was, whatever time you get up, 5:30. And it might have been Anthony Askowitz actually when he did the training with our office. Don't immediately get up and get on your email and look at your texts and go to work. Get up and take that time for yourself, whether that means having your coffee or going for that morning walk or just maybe doing some stretching exercises, whatever it is. Don't immediately, and I need to work on this, I think, so much, not immediately getting on my emails and looking, let me see what came in overnight.
Well, and your phone is always nonstop. And I remember even us just trying to take an afternoon in Vegas, to go to the Hoover Dam, like go there for 11
oh my
years,
God,
never leave, never go explore. And we're just trying to do that. And your phone, I really just wanted to grab it from you and just like throw it.
I remember that day very well. And I remember the people that were blowing it up, to be very honest with you. Like, I remember it so well. And you're right. I need to just put it away and just, that's it. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, almost nothing is an emergency. I mean, maybe if you're at the closing table and there's an issue, but here's the thing. Sometimes if you can't get in touch with me and you just sit at the closing table, it'll work through itself. It'll happen. So the notion of, and there's been times, I mean, I remember recently, Connie reached out to me and she's like, I need to talk to you as soon as I can. And I was in a meeting that I didn't have my phone. And when I got my phone, then I called her and she's like, we've worked through it. It's fine. No need to call back. And sometimes that's
and that usually happens more often than not.
Correct. Agreed.
And I think a big part of our stress is that everything is right here. Everybody wants instant. Oh, here's all my messages coming on. Oh, so why did I even look at that?
Yep.
Because everything is so instant. And I think this is a huge part of issues. So my biggest, and it wasn't really until you even kind of called that out, is to not always have this. So when I work on the weekends, I'll work in the morning, I'll be doing my emails and stuff. After that, I don't look at my email in the afternoons.
I know. I mean, I know you don't, because I can tell.
I'm totally different than you. So,
yeah, but I think that's awesome that you don't. Like, I think it's awesome that you don't, honestly. Like, because you have to take time for yourself.
And I think that's why one of my other activities is, and that's one of our first ones, just kind of taking time for ourselves, is why I like going up in the mountains to just enjoy the views and just be in the moment with my hubby, just for our time. It's for me, that's like my zen, and being up there, whether we're in the Jeep or the side-by-side, whatever, just being up in the mountains, because I usually will put my phone in airplane mode because I get zero reception and I don't want to kill my battery because I'm always, stop, I got to take a picture. Stop, hold on. Wait, did you see that? Stop, go back. So I like to conserve my battery and I just put it on airplane mode because I have zero reception. And
see, that's
it's
awesome.
Almost like you feel naked because it's, during the day or whatnot, but it's really the only way I'm going to be able to disconnect from my phone.
Yep.
If I'm up on an airplane, because I don't fly the cool brands. I get Allegiant. We don't have Wi-Fi. I remember when we flew at Delta and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot what a real plane was like. There's Wi-Fi funny. And oh my gosh, but I don't know.
There's Wi-Fi, there's food. I can have a drink. That's funny.
But it is kind of nice to have, when I do fly, to have that hour and 15 minutes of just reading a book.
Yep.
Just me, or, just dabbling in, the business planning stuff. And that's usually what I'll do. So it is nice when you're kind of forcibly having to disconnect.
Right,
the
right.
phone.
So that's, I mean, and that's, let's go back to just take a break and do some recharging, whether it's on the weekend or even if it's just take 10 minutes and get up from your desk and stretch or do a little bit of yoga or a little bit of meditation, or sometimes I'll just walk around the parking lot. There's been a couple times where I've just like gone out to the Peggy at the front desk and said, I'll be back in 10 minutes. I'm not taking my phone, and I'll just get in
Oh,
the
you're
car.
not taking your phone, because I used to do the laps to be able to for Pokemon to help my eggs. And I would totally
There's
take
that
it.
too. But sometimes I'll just leave my phone, get in the car, and I'll just do this loop of Pineda Causeway and then back through Sundre and then back, just to like, to de-stress and get away from the phone for a minute.
Because
Yeah.
I think the phone is, it's just, we're so connected anymore. So, and you are always trying to put out fires and, working through the transactions and, dealing with your, buyers and sellers. But you have to be able to recharge yourself. What is
Yep.
it? Somebody said you have to fill up your own cup before you can fill up
Yeah.
others. So
Yes.
even if it's, and I think that's huge with family, to be able to just take that time. And I mean, it absolutely drives me crazy when I go out to dinner with Leo, because this is him on TikTok the entire time. Just on TikTok with his phone. Like, I just want to record him. I'm like, dude, I'm paying for a nice dinner. Like, just hello, get
Put your
off your
phone
phone.
down.
Get
Yeah.
off of TikTok.
We went to dinner 2 Fridays ago, and I said, everybody's leaving the phone in the car.
Remember that lunch that we did? And
yes, that was at Grills. That was me,
so much fun.
you, Pam, Karen, and Dave DiCiaccio.
And he made us like,
He made us
everyone
put our
give
phones.
me the phone, put them away, and we're just having lunch, 0 phones. Because everybody was on their phone, and it's like, and we did that for the video boot camp too.
Yep.
Michael and Jesse, like, they got, I guess what they would put like wine in or whatever, and like, I need one of those buckets. Everybody put their phone in.
Yeah.
We just want to have dinner without phone interruption.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the phone is a big deal. Taking time for
the phone adds to the stress too. I mean, the phone is adding to the stress.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. So, a lot of people, they get so caught up in the business and everything else. I think, your family life really can hurt. Your spouse, your significant other, your children, take the time to be present. Even if it's just a quick, going out to dinner, going to the beach,
grab some coffee with a friend.
Yes.
Just something where you can just get away from it all, recharge. I like that. Go to the beach, or in your case, just go up to the mountain and sit and chill. And
I loved, Buffini brought that up at R4. And, right now we really can't do those 2-week vacations like we used to, because it's just so insane.
Yeah.
But instead of, and getting on the planes, I mean, everything is just crazy. But do a staycation. Do a nice 2-day weekend somewhere close to you. Spend a little, splurge a little, get a beautiful, get the suite, because you're not, and just take.
Because you're not paying for the flight. Yeah.
Right. So you're saving money, not doing all this. And he found like some amazing places right there on the beach, 30 minutes from his house, that he had never even been to before, because it was always the longer vacations. But just, even if it's only 2 days on a weekend or something like that, having someone that can help cover you.
Yep.
I mean, I mean, the camping thing, just, even if it's only for a couple of days, I mean, we try to do it at least once a month, just because we need our time.
Yeah.
I mean, like me time, our time.
Here's another thing. Like you mentioned it, start reading a good book. When was the last time? I mean, I can't tell you the last time I actually read a book or listened to a podcast or listened to a book on tape, but I haven't physically read a paper book in years.
I just got my, I guess, audio. I got his actual book, but I just like his voice. There's just so I'm like, no, it finally just came in because it's been on pre-order.
Nice.
It finally came in, and I'm like, no, I'd much rather listen to him talk than.
I mean, take the time to do that. Take the time, find a good book or podcast or book on tape, whatever it is. Again, I mean, we talked about doing yoga or doing meditation, But I talked about it in the short sense, but find an activity that's good for your health that will also help your mind disengage. So whether it's meditation, yoga, riding a Peloton, walking on the beach, walking through a park, pick an exercise that you like, because exercising also helps you release the tension and the stress in your body.
And I've loved that, having physical therapy where it's like 3 times a week and I don't bring my phone in. It's just me and the group, which is fun. And then they just told me Friday that that was my last session and I
Oh,
almost
wow.
was going to cry.
Well, because it's, you know what, when it's scheduled and you have to be there, you're there, and that's awesome.
So now I'm like, okay, so I subscribed to, I was like, well, I'm just going to do the gym because I really have so enjoyed being able to do that.
Being
And,
able to do that.
and it's, I mean, there it's been kind of like I have to do it because,
Right.
kind of have to, but I really enjoyed it. And I think it became somewhat of a habit. I did sign up for the Beachbody thingy. So that's on, I got that all set up in my house so I can start
Nice.
trying out all those things just because it is nice not to have to drive. Although it was nice to just, I like, for me, and that's another thing, is jamming to music. Like,
Yeah.
I've got
Right.
my playlist, and actually I've been listening to the same playlist since our first UPW event.
Wow.
I took that playlist along with Tom Ferry's playlist from his conventions,
Right.
and that's been my playlist forever. And I also have my favorite, which is my Elite Rock Star, which is, remember when we got together and we made all of the walk up songs, I guess. Is that what
Yep.
so we
Yep.
have like
Yep.
a song. So I have that as my playlist too. So
Oh, that's awesome.
between those two, it's just something about the energy. I jam it up, especially now that it's finally warm again. I can take the top off the Jeep and just put the windows down and let my hair go nuts and just jam to my
Right.
music. It does something for the soul. And I love just jamming to the music. It just puts me in a completely different mindset. So music, along with the
Yeah, I think music is awesome, and there's so many ways now that you can stream music and listen to music. When, back in the olden days, you had to buy the album and listen to the whole album, and you don't have to do that anymore. You
No,
can
it's
pick the
just the
songs you like.
playlist. And I mean, because on my, we all have the Apple, so I just pay for the family plan. So we, if I hear a song, I'm on SoundHound, and what's that song? Okay, I go to, iTunes, download it, and I'm good to go. Put it in
Nice.
whatever playlist. And I have different playlists depending on my mood, or who I'm with, because Leo wants the country hip hop stuff or whatever. So
That's hilarious. Here's another thing, and so this is kind of gonna get heavy for a minute. If you're at that point where the stress is too much and you need to talk to somebody, find a therapist. Honestly, I mean, sometimes it gets to that point. Sometimes talking to your girlfriends or your husband or your boyfriends or your friends, whatever they are.
all of them or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes talking to my dog isn't enough. Sometimes you need some professional help just to work through things and talk through things. So, we live in a world now where it's normal. It's not anything to be embarrassed about. But if you feel like you really need that extra help, seek it out.
And I know, and I don't know that this is even on our list, but for us, like, we have like this small core of groups. They're all agents, so we're in the same field in different markets, and we do a weekly Zoom call. And we started that right as COVID kind of hit, and it's really been therapeutic to be able to talk to others in the same field,
Right.
all going through the same stuff, and just really the good, the bad, the ugly, and helping each other and lifting each other up. So, it's like a weekly Zoom, but there's
Yep.
also like a private Facebook group of just these
That
girls.
group. Yeah.
And it really has, I mean, been so emotionally uplifting to help each other, because
Especially when you know others are going through the same thing you
right,
are.
because in the same field, like, everyone's kind of going through the same crazy market, and here's what I'm doing, or here's what I'm doing, or let's chat offline, or,
Yep.
it's just to have a group of your tribe of people that can really uplift you and help you through, that are going through, like, we're all going through the motions together.
Right.
So That's been super helpful because a lot of times the spouses they just don't understand.
They just
They're getting
don't.
the repercussions of all the stress
Yeah,
because they're close to us. So
exactly. Exactly. So take some time for yourself to recharge, whether that's for the weekend or just to get up from your desk for 10 minutes and walk around your building, or to set coffee to visit coffee with a friend to visit, or a Zoom group with other people in your industry to make sure you're all kind of talk about what you're all going through. So make time for yourself. Exercising is huge. It really is, and I need to listen to this for sure. Also, time management. Like, take a look at your business plan. If you're feeling stressed about your business because inventory is low and maybe your numbers aren't where they are, pull out your business plan and look at it and see what you can do to get yourself refocused so that you're not feeling and all over the place.
and I would suggest, if when you do get to that point where you just want to change something up because you're in this funk, is go through like when we have the breakdown where you have the doing, done, the 3 different things. Maybe find something that may not be in this month. Maybe it's in a couple months. Find something that excites you, that
Yeah,
you are kind of excited to do when we're doing the business planning, and jump down and get that done. It does, you're always having to adjust things, but maybe find something that excites you
yeah,
and just move into that, because that helps you remember like why you love doing what you do. And I think that passion kind of helps through these crazy times.
for
So
sure,
that would be
for sure.
an
and
idea.
then and then listen to music that you love, or find a new book or a podcast or a book on tape. It can either be motivational, it can be spiritual, it can be um
Business, it could be
it
anything.
could be anything. It could be a Harlequin romance. I don't even know if they make Harlequin romances, but it could be a Harlequin romance, or a
Unless it's
mystery
all
book.
into the murder
Yeah,
mystery
it
stuff.
doesn't have to be about business. It could be just straight pleasure.
Right.
um,
And it's just for you. It's just something that can really kind of take you away, right?
yeah,
Just anything take you away from that moment, even if it's only for 20 minutes or so. Just something
exactly,
like that.
exactly.
And I love just the just disconnecting, putting the phones away, having a nice dinner, maybe get a past client, so then it's just break away from
Right.
the fully being connected 24/7, 365,
Exactly, exactly.
and taking time for you time for sure.
Yeah.
So let's see, what's our weekly activity?
Take a look inside and start discovering and believing in the power that you have to create and influence change. You don't have to create a foundation to make a difference. Even simple acts of kindness and service improve the world. What is it that you want to do? And let me just say this about that.
That's
Like,
me.
I, a lot of times, get paralyzed by making the whole plan, and I have to, everything doesn't have to be a huge plan, a huge foundation. Just do something nice, influence change. Um,
I like the quote, that be the change you want to see in the world, kind of thing. So it's
yeah,
like those little acts of kindness, and just little acts of anything really can. I mean, it's like I tip very well, because I remember when I was delivering pizzas or whatever. If I got a really good tip, like, it completely changed my entire day and made my day. So I
yes.
I try to do that
Well,
for anybody that.
it's funny. When we went out to the dinner where we said no phones, went to a restaurant that's super close to my house. The last time we went, the service was not great. And it wasn't great because they were understaffed. And so this time, same thing, understaffed, which is kind of a sign of the times. And then I started looking around the restaurant, and I'm like, half of the light bulbs were out. It didn't look really clean. And it was kind of disappointing because this used to be a hot spot. And the and but I tipped that waitress well because it was not her fault. It was not her fault that the cook didn't tell her for 20 minutes that the thing I ordered for dinner was no longer available and sold out. Yeah. It wasn't her fault that the light bulbs weren't replaced, it wasn't her fault that they were short-staffed,
Right.
and I feel like we left her a great tip, and we hope that it made her day.
And it's funny that you mentioned that. So Pam Capella, her office, they actually once a month they pick a local restaurant, and they just all kind of whoever wants to go, and it's a pay it forward time. So
Right.
they all tip like
Yeah. They give a
very
great tip.
well, and
Right.
it's so they do that once a month, and they just pick a different local restaurant for them to all go to, and they absolutely love doing that. So it's kind of there's such a satisfaction in knowing you're making someone's day by going above and beyond when you absolutely don't need to.
Yep.
I know it was always the same way when Leo would have his service truck for the fire department and go to Chick-fil-A. Like his meal was almost always paid for because
Right.
of the person in front. So just those little things like make such a difference, and it's almost like a pay it forward. Like it becomes a domino effect when you affect somebody and make their day. Then it's almost like they want to do that for someone else, and it just becomes that great domino effect. And
I love that.
It's just that little thing. There's a quote that Louise says, like, just
a little bit from a lot of us
makes a huge difference. There's I wish I had that quote, but that she always said, but it always got to me. But anyway,
yeah.
So that's a long way to go, the weekly activity. But yeah, just kind of pay it forward and just do a little something different to make the day brighter for someone else, for you, for anybody. And then the words of wisdom is surround yourself with people that reflect who you want to be and how you want to feel, because energies are contagious. And I love that, because I always say, like, no energy sucking vampires allowed, because it is contagious. So surround yourself with people who uplift you and make you feel better, and everything else. And that's so huge. I can't even say how huge that is.
I totally agree. Awesome.
Well, that's awesome. So we have some more great stuff. All of this is on our website, the MondayMorningWakeUpCall.com. Until next week.